So, good morning, my fellow Zenites. Did you check your PZEN wallet balance with your coffee this morning? A very strong Colombian roast this morning. Look, people get very confused when they start listening to disinformation. Point in case, you can see my latest tweet about a competing, I don't know whether it's competing or not, where they've done some clever marketing and they think that they are living in a world of scarcity where if they attract money, it's not going to go to other projects. But I keep telling you, there is no scarcity of wealth. It just needs redistribution. And that is the power of PZEN. That's why PZEN is so strong. You know, compounding interest is the eighth wonder of the world. And PZEN just does that on steroids. And all this name calling is just ridiculous. It's absolutely crazy. We're not in competition at all. What we are doing is building a new economy. Name calling is ridiculous. I mean, look, last night at the restaurant, okay, they called me Mr. Gabbana. It's ridiculous, okay? It's got to stop, because one thing you need to know about history is if you don't learn from the past, you will make the same mistakes. And one thing I want to point out is in the late 18th century, there were over 3,000 different currencies in the United States. 3,000. Do you remember that? Did you know that? So we are at a confluence in history. I keep saying this, where the technology has reached a critical point, and we as a civilization realize that most of the government systems around the world are failing us terribly. And so whenever there is a huge gap between the haves and the have-nots, throughout history, it's always led to one thing and one thing only, and that is revolution. Now, the revolution that we are about to have now, we don't know how that's actually going to play out. But one thing is for sure, we all know that the government controls the money, and he who controls the money controls the people, which is why it's absolutely critical to get yourself educated into cryptocurrency. You really need to understand what this new economy is all about and how you can protect and grow your wealth in these huge tumultuous times. Times are changing. Thinking is changing. Look, point in case, Warren Buffett, okay, he and Charlie Munger were adamant against cryptocurrencies. They thought it was just the worst thing since sliced bread, as a phrase he likes to use. But interestingly, the news this week is that Mr. Buffett has invested a huge amount of his capital from Berkshire Hathaway into a new digital bank. And guess what? The whole purpose of this new digital bank is to create their own cryptocurrency. Who'd have think? Things are changing. The world is changing very, very fast. And you're very lucky because you're part of it. And if you've already taken the opportunity, that is PZEN, then realize that you are so early into this game. And remember, the people that get into a project the earliest and hold the longest, those are the people that make the most gains. But the other thing that people make a mistake about getting into crypto is they think it's a lottery system. They think they can throw $50 in and come out with $1 million. Well, that may be true, but not in a day. Okay, very few people ever do that. And it's mostly the people that create the coins and the very, very early adopters in the first place. And it doesn't happen instantaneously. You have to really understand that it's time and compound interest which makes generational wealth. So on that, looking at price action of PZEN, we're going sideways, and people are concentrating too much, I think, on the price. because they're viewing it very wrong. When the price is low like this, you should be thinking about accumulating, because the more of the market share that you own out of the circulating supply, the bigger your rewards from the pay it forward deduction. It's all down to the percentage of the market of the share that you have of the total supply. That's what determines how much of the pool that you get after every transaction. So this is why dollar cost averaging in to this project for a lot of you is a great idea. And look, when the price starts to appreciate, people get very confused as well, because they'll see, you know, whatever the launch price was, it was 0.008 at the very early days, and they'll see the price now at around 0.004 or 5 and say, well, I'm not buying now because I've missed out. Well, I keep referring back again to my good old friend Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway stock. When it started, it was extremely cheap. It was something like, I don't know, $40 or something. And people bought. And then about a few years later, that then became $250. These are relative figures. These are not the actual figures. You can go and look at my last video or one of the videos and it'll show the actual figures. But people looked at the new price at 250 and said, well, I could have bought for 40, so I'm not buying now. And of course, 10 years later, that price was now 2,500 per share. And the people looked at that and they said, well, I could have bought it for 250, so I'm definitely not buying it now. And then it became 45,000 US dollars a share until it went up until astronomical figure. I think it was like $210,000 a share. So price action is entirely relative. And for us in these tumultuous markets, and it is about to get worse, by the way, because what people don't seem to realize is that the analysts, they look at historical figures. So when they are projecting forward the earnings, it is just that, is a projection. Earnings season is about to start in earnest. Meta has already disappointed. There are going to be huge revisions of earnings coming up in the next couple of months, which will have a devastating effect to, you know, for any retail investor who is in the stock market. And of course, that also means that those of you who are looking forward to retirement, your pension funds are going to be absolutely decimated. You have to take action. Nobody is coming to save you. You are the only one that can do it. Get educated. Go over to PulseZen.app. Join the Telegram group. Find out what the opportunity PulseZen is all about. I'm Conrad Zen, advocate for PulseZen. I'll just have a quick slurp of the Colombian coffee. A bit of a grey day today, but of course you have to have down days to appreciate the up days. Is anybody here this morning? Let's have a go and see. BC in the Matrix. Hello to you, sir. Big thumbs up to you as well. Afternoon from the UK. Yes, good afternoon to you. Crypto Luckbox from Texas. Good morning to you, sir. Have you heard about Texit? Have you looked at the Texan token? My good friend, Crypto Heartbeat, has launched an initiative to actually take Texas as an independent country. Once again, because Texas was independent at one time. In fact, it was independent for nearly 12 years. Another amazing historical fact. Wanini, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you, sir. Note Dog, all right, son. Keep up the good work. Yeah, all right, son. We are keeping up the good work. That's for sure. Okay, so that was this quick coffee morning chat for Pulse Zen. Do take a look at the Twitter. Ask Conrad Zen. Go and follow me. In fact, follow all social media. In fact, follow everybody who's producing content for Pulse Zen. Word of mouth marketing is the way to go forward. I will see you very shortly in the next live broadcast. And of course, don't forget to register for this week's giveaway. All the people who won last week, including the 1 million PZEN winner, who I think is actually, and the registration process is very simple. You just connect your MetaMask wallet. It's only for PZEN holders, of course. This is not an airdrop. And if you see the word airdrop anywhere about PulseZen, it's a scam. It's not real. So there is only one giveaway, and that happens live on my channel. And this week, it will be Friday at 14:30, 2:30 p.m. New York time, Eastern Standard Time. And we'll be having some fun with that. Meanwhile, keep checking the balance, keep seeing that PulseZen goes up. And of course, as everything else in this bear market, the price may go down, even with PulseZen. But the good thing about PulseZen is it doesn't matter whether the price goes down or up. You get more PZEN in your wallet after every transaction. Thank you so much. Slanjivar, everyone, and I'll talk to you very, very soon.